Hi folks, welcome to this video. My channel is probably a little bit like waiting for buses. You sit around for ages and nothing arrives, then all of a sudden two videos in this case just drop literally one after the other. Today I am going to talk about panels that we're building, manager panels that we're building for the Felis 747 Classic, 742 Classic, whatever he calls it. The 747-200 in X-Plane 12. We're on the ground. We've got the parking brake set, just so nothing embarrassing happens to the aircraft while I'm showing you these panels. They are a work in progress. There's still a little bit of work to be done on them, mainly down to night lighting and night lighting effects, dome light, floodlights, all that kind of stuff. But that shouldn't take too long. But I thought I'd just show you where we're at. So let's start off with the captain's panel. And this layout here pretty much mirrors the layout that you'll see on the Felis. I've built in a kind of pseudo scroll system where you just tap up and down and it'll move the screen. It's a lot easier, I think, than physically dragging the screen up and down. If you have a touch screen, you can just click on those or just punch those spots with your finger and it'll take you straight there. The gauges are all individual instruments within a manager, so you can mix and match and move them around and customize the panel as much as you like to mirror actual airline configurations. There's lots of different options that I'll have available, different RMIs. For example, many 74s had an RMI for the VOR and an RMI for ADFs, which sits somewhere over here. Lufthansa had metric altimeters on their aircraft back in the day. This sub panel here, for example, has a low profile option. It's not quite as high as deep, and that allows you to fit another row of 3¼ inch instruments onto the panel. So there's umpteen different things you can do. We've got different flight director systems. I've got a V-bar flight director system available as well, and we've got, if I open up this panel here, we've got, for example, tape radalt. This is more reminiscent of an aircraft that Braniff had in operation. So you can see a different radalt and a different flight director and autopilot mode display as well. Just do the test there. That's the captain's side. The first officer side, just open that up. Again, this is a fairly standard layout. You can customize it to suit as you so wish. Clocks are independent and separate, so we can get those running. The sounds are all coming. All the switch sounds are directly off the Zebo. Sorry, not the Zebo. Off the Felis itself. So coming out of the sim. Just set the speed bugs there. Right. Moving on then to the center panel. This again mirrors the Felis. We've just got standard round gauges. If I stick a bit of flap in.
Flaps 1. Flaps 5.
The flaps are moving, and let's just show you the gauges themselves in operation. Just stand the throttles up and then move them forward, and the airplane doesn't like us very much. Don't do that. Don't do that. As well as these, we've also got an option for a set of tape instruments. You can see here the flaps.
Flaps 1.
Our tape as well, and the engines. So we'll just stick a bit of power in there. I find these are very much better for being able to see how engines are running relative to the others, so you can see if there's any variance in a particular engine. but they're actually harder to set a precise EPA setting, for example, than the round gauges. So it's 6 of one, half a dozen of the other. Pull the power back.
Check reverse.
These have got nice blue reverse lights, which I actually like much better than the standard ones, or the ones you'd see more commonly. So that is that's the center MIP. What else have we got here? We've got the glare shield. The glare shield does what it says on the tin, basically. If I just close these down, there we go. There's the captain's panel. I'm running Air Manager on the same computer as I'm running X-Plane at the moment, and you could see there I just had multiple panels open. Wasn't doing very much. You can't tell obviously because the aircraft's not in the air, but it doesn't do much to frame rate. It's you can load up Air Manager quite heavily, and it runs quite well. So the mode control panel just does what it says on the tin, really. It's quite self-explanatory. Right, what else have we got? We've looked at the glare, we've looked at the captain, centre MIPS, first officer, the electronics panel. Close down the glare shield. There we go. This is so we've got start at the top. We've got the CDU bay. We've got all the audio panels, the radios, VHF COM, ADF controllers, VHF COM 3. That's all there. The thrust computer and the rudder trim panel and the lights panel. So that's all there. I've got a little hidden button at the top here that just centers the rudder trim. It just makes life easy if you want to center it. One of the things, let's go back up to the top here. If I go to options and now select the Siva, you'll see that now we have the Siva running. We've got the three individual units running. FMC, for those who want to fly with an FMC on the Felis, that is all. That's all there. That's the default X-Plane FMC, I believe, but you can run it through Air Manager if you so wish. And then of course we've got the Lytton, either green or amber displays. Close that, and then the final bit I think to show you is the overhead. I say final bit because at the moment these are all the forward facing panels. These are the panels that the two pilots, the captain and the first officer, would be accessing. The flight engineers panel is in work. I'm not sure if I show you that now, but it's almost a cockpit in itself. There's so much to it. The overhead, again, you just click up and down on it, fairly self-explanatory. We've got all the let's arm the body gear. Let's see what else. Let's get the evac signal going. There's the horn, the lights obviously all work. With Air Manager you can run this overhead then across a network. I think the way a lot of people would do it is they have two computers running, one with X-Plane as their, so essentially as their external view, and the other one then you could run 4 or 5 screens with Air Manager. It's really not that heavy on processing power at all, or graphical power, and they can then run their home cockpit off of Air Manager. And the next step after this is to start adding Arduinos and physical controls, physical switches, physical rotaries, for example, just to turn it from essentially a flat screen trainer into much more of a 3D cockpit. Anyhow, I hope that's given you a quick idea of how things are looking. The fire handles, they're all working. Let's get all the indicators lit as well. See that all working. That's it for now. Quick overview. Very close to being finished. I've just got the night lighting effects to do. So, for example, on the overhead, it'll automatically dim as the ambient light outside changes as you go into night. There'll be backlighting. There's gauge lighting. Dome light will illuminate the cockpit panels, or the floodlights will illuminate the respective panel that they cover. Thanks very much. Thanks for watching this. If you want to know more, you can find out more here. The forum here will give you an idea of development, gives you some news on what's happening, download links, etc., how you can obtain these panels. Thanks very much for watching, and I hope it's not going to be too long before the next video is out. Thank you very much. Take care. Bye.